I have a great content. You know, I have Java challenge. I have the story of my life. I have, you know, Java EE, right? Whoa, I have a great content. I want to present that. So then what do? You write a title, right? You write a title, and from the title, you write the description, right? That's what most people do, right? Yeah. This is wrong. That's not how it works. I'll just leave the content here just so I don't have to erase too much. But you don't start from the content. That's what Dorival is doing. Oh, I have my story. I'm going to start with the content. No, that's not what you start. You start with who. That's the most important thing. Who, right? Who I'm going to talk to, right? The who can be two things. People that I want to attract, right? It could be people that I want to attract to come talk to me. So I'm going to do a webinar, for example. So I think who I want to attract, that's people. When you're going to do a webinar, that's people in your celebrity statement, right? Okay? When you do a webinar, you want to attract people to come talk to you. That's who. But on an event, the event provides you with who, right? Because you will not decide who comes to the event. It's the event they're going to decide who is who. So it could be the event, right? The event will tell you. So that's a developer event. That's you know, it's focused on you know, on Java, right? It focuses on enterprise. It focuses on beginners. It's focused on advanced developers. The event will tell you, right? So, for example, QCon will tell your presentation. We just want professional developers here. That's QCon, right? Oracle CodeOne is a little bit harder because they're expanding, right? Last year was the first year, right? So it's like they're creating this new event, right? So you know, before JavaOne was a Java event, right? Now Oracle CodeOne is more is broader. So, but now you go there. They have. I'm just gonna take a look back here. They have primary audience. They have DBA, developer, data scientist, DevOps, and other. So who's going to say other, right? No one's going to say other, right? So it's DBA, developers, data science, or DevOps, right? So that's your who right there. You don't get a choice on this. Okay, so now you define who is your who. Oh, I want, you know, from those groups, I want the DBAs to come here. And then you adjust, right? You say, I want DBAs working on Oracle, right? Or I want developers working on Java. So now you decide who. Okay, now that you decide who, then what they want. What's who wants? What is it they need? How they can transform their lives, right? Because everyone needs something, right? Everyone has a need. Okay, so what is it they need? Okay. Everyone needs something. So who needs something? They have a problem. They have something to solve. They have something to do. What problem is this? Okay, now that you know the problem, so here is the problem, right? What problem who is trying to solve? For you, this is your debt. Right? But depending on which event you are, your debts might not fit perfectly. You have to adjust a little bit. But who has a need, has a problem? So which problem who needs to solve? Now that you know the problem, you can think to yourself, okay, now that I know what problem the person is trying to solve, what is the step I want them to take? What is the, you know, because for them to have results, they need to take an action. right? If they watch your talk, they need to take an action so they can solve their problem, right? You know, an action, a transformation, right? Transformation, right? So there is a transformation that happens when the person has a problem. I mean, the person watch your talk, right? There's a transformation that they happen, right? And that transformation is the solution. It's some kind of solution to the problem, right? Because let me tell you one thing: your talk, it's not the solution. That's important. Your talk is not the solution. Let's say, for example, Rafael decided to teach people how to become fit, on shape, right? So that's his content. Oh, people are going to be on shape. So Rafael goes on the stage and say, yes, you know, you got to be on shape, and here how you do it. And I have a series of challenges here for you to do it. By the end of Rafael's talk, is everyone on shape? No, right? They need to go and do something. So the solution is not your talk. The solution is whatever action people are going to take after your talk. So they could say, for example, you know, I'm going to follow Rafael's, and every day he's going to give me a challenge, and I'm going to follow his challenge, and then I'm going to get on shape, right? Okay, that's what Rafael does, right? You know, he gives some challenges on his talk, but then he invites people to keep listening to challenges to improve their lives. Okay, so all right. So now that you know who, what's the problem, what is the transformation, now you can come up with a title. You can create a title that attracts the right who that needs something and that will benefit from a transformation. Because not every who will benefit from a transformation, right? You know, let's say, for example, Rafael is gonna give you know, challenges, right? Java challenges. If a non-Java developer walks into his talk, he's not going to benefit from a transformation. So the title has to attract the right who that needs a transformation. Because if the title doesn't attract the right who that needs a transformation, your talk is going to be useless, because people are going to come and not going to get any benefits, right? Okay, so the title serves to attract the right who to you. Okay, so now that you have a title, because you have a who, you have a problem, you have a solution, now the content of your presentation, and here is also the description, right? Because you're going to use this on the description too, right? Okay, we're talking about submission here, but when you prepare a presentation, so the content, it's the bridge between the needs and the transformation. So you can only come up with the content once you know who needs which transformation. Otherwise, you're going to have a content that doesn't have a who, doesn't have a transformation, doesn't help in anyone. Okay? So that's how you prepare presentation in general. That's how you prepare blog posts in general. That's how you prepare a book, right? It's this process. Your content, it's the bridge between the problem and the solution, right? Okay, so now that I explain all of these, how does this map to Dorival's question? Bruno, my presentation, it's my story, right? Is the content. It's a story. So how do I get accepted in the event? Well, who is coming to the event? Oh, it's Java developers, professional Java developers, very technical people. That's a who. All right. So I want to attract. Who do I want to attract? Well, I want to attract Java developers, because that's the event gave me. The event gave me Java developers, right? I want to attract the Java developers, they are facing big problems in their lives. Okay? Or I want to track Java developers that are facing big technical problems, because I want to talk with technical people. So I want the ones facing very technical issues. Okay, so that's the who. So what is that? What is the big problem that someone facing very technical problems? What is the big problem they have? Well, maybe they have the problem that they don't know how to learn enough, or they don't get a better job, or they know. You have to think about, right? What's the problem they have? So I have a problem. So what is the transformation I'm going to give them? Well, the transformation I'm going to give them is courage to face their fears, right? It's understanding what they need to learn. What was the thing they're going to focus on, for example, right? So that's the transformation I'm going to give. Okay, so now I'm going to create a title that will attract developers that are having problems with learning, right? That's the thing we're talking about. They're having big problems of learning. So I'm going to attract those guys. Too many technologies to learn, or something like this. I don't know, right? You're gonna create a title to attract the right people, and then your content. You're gonna use your story to bridge the bridge of I have a big technical problem that I don't know how to solve, to the transformation of I need to face my fears and solve it, right? And then you can use your story to tell that story. You can use, look, I was also like you. I had big problems in my life. I had big technical problems in my life. I had big personal problems in my life. Let me tell you how I faced my fears. And then you can build the bridge. Make sense?
Yes, very clear explanation. Thank you.
Okay, good. So then, was that someone's question? No. Okay. All right. So this is what you need to do until Wednesday. Right? Until Wednesday, you need to think about this. Think about the who. Think about the needs. Think about the transformation. Because let me tell you, do you want to have a talk accepted? For your talk to be accepted, you have to solve a real problem, right? For your talk to be accepted, you have to solve a real problem. So I talked about Pedro before, right? And so I talk about how he did not know how to say his CS. But now I'm going to talk about good things about Pedro, because Pedro ended his presentation by saying this presentation was inspired by Rafael, right? It was inspired by Rafael, who had a problem, a needs. There was a cloud problem, right? So Pedro created the content to get Rafael to the transformation of knowing how to solve that problem. So now it's amazing, because that is the best presentation ever. It's a presentation that is based on a real problem, a real need. That's a big thing that people have. They come up with those crazy presentations of technology. There's no real need. There's no real problem. Right? So you have to find what is the need, what is the problem, and then you can submit something that really solves it. So, some challenge that you have. You're gonna be sending to an event that has lots of people from all over the world, lots of Java champions. We're gonna submit there, right? Lots of open source committers. We're gonna submit there. How do you get accepted? Right? You have to solve a real problem in a different way than everyone else is going to solve that problem. That's the hard thing. What do you mean by a different way? Do I have to be unique? You're already unique. You have a story. You have experience. Your life counts, right? So you can tell that story if you want, right? But the thing is, present the solution because you know the solution, because you lived through it, right? You had the issues. That is not about the technology. It's about your experience. It's about the things that you did. It's not the technology. It's not like, oh, I want to present, oh, I'm going to go to a Java conference, so I want to present about Java EE, or I want to present about microservices. That's all content, right? Okay, do you want to present about microservices? Wonderful. You want to present about microservices? That's perfect. So now, let's get the same thing. So Dorival wants to talk about his story, but let's say Rodrigo wants to talk about microservices. So who is the same, developers having technical issues, right? It's the same thing. The need is still solving technical issues. The more specific you get, it's easier for you to think about this. But the need is to solve a specific problem. The transformation is face your fears, right? The same thing. Now the content is microservices. So how do I talk about microservices to someone that has to face their fears of solving technological problems? Well, that's the challenge, right? It is to adjust your message to the audience, right? Remember, what is the best transformation you can ever give to someone? Who can tell me this? The best transformation you can give to someone, the best gift you can give to someone. Who can tell me this?
Solve their problem?
No. Good try, but not.
To be there for the first step.
Be there for the first step. It's close. It's close.
Convince them.
Well, inspire them. I'm not convinced, but inspire them is a good thing, yes. Inspire them, but that's not the best gift you can give. That's what your talk is going to give. Your talk has to inspire them. You're right, Rafael. Your talk has to inspire them to take the step on a solution.
Hope that they will have problem solving or something like that.
Hope that they can solve the problem. Well, hope is inspiration. Yes, it's inspiration. Yes, inspiration is a good thing.
So, like Dorival's story, maybe make the audience know that they can do what they have to do for themselves.
Okay, yes, face their fears. That's also inspiration. That's your content. Your content has to give inspiration. So what is the biggest gift you can give them? You all try
a call to action, to take action.
It's taking action, but taking action to do what? So I'll tell you, the biggest gift you can give people is you.
Nobody cares about us.
Nobody cares. That's right. Nobody cares about you, right? But you care about them, right?
Okay.
So the biggest gift you can give people is you. What does means you, right? It is a relationship with you, right? A relationship with you is what can cause transformation in people. If they follow you on Twitter, if they join your mailing list, if they connect with you, if they have a conversation with you after the event, if they go out for dinner with you later, if they spend the next year, 2 years, 5 years with you, their life's going to be better, right? Is that true or not?
Yep.
Right? Why? Why their life's going to be better? Because, of course, they don't care about you, but you care about them. So you're going to do everything that's possible for you to help them solve that problem, right? That's your commitment, because you are committed to your message. Your message changes lives. So you are committed to your message. You're committed to help people with your message, whether they want it or not. Some people want, some people don't want, right? But you are committed to it. Make sense? So if you are committed to it, the longer they stay with a relationship with you, the better it is for them. Proofs of this, all of you guys here, you at some point you went to a talk with me and you created a relationship with me and now you're improving your life because you have a relationship with me, right? You know, you are here in a Saturday morning. I could be, instead of presenting to 5 people here, I could be presenting to 1,000 people on my channel, right? So I can spend more time with you because I know you're more committed because you're with me for longer time. Let's get another example. You know, all of you guys, you know, Rodrigo right here. Rodrigo met me in my first initiative called Ano Novo Projeto Novo, long time ago, right? That's how he's here today. You know, because he spent the longer he stays with me, the deeper the relationship with me, the better I can help him, right? You know, Elder Moraes, right? Elder Moraes received an email from me and he says, I don't even know how I was on Bruno's list. I don't remember how I got on his list. But I was on his list and I got that email and I replied to that email and his life changed, right? So you, because you care about them, because you care about your audience, you are the best gift you can give to people. Make sense? So your whole process here, right, is to help people get a relationship with you and go deeper on that relationship. So this is what you need to show in your submission, right? In your submission, you need to show how passionate you are to solve a real problem for a real who. Make sense? I know this is a little bit abstract, right? I understand that. But if you stop thinking about your content and you start thinking about who, so if you write the description of your talk, the description, okay, so the title is based on who. The description is based on who. So if you write the title and the description based on who and the needs, what real problem you're talking about, just that by itself makes your presentation much better and different than everyone else. I read hundreds of presentations on submissions. Everyone talked about the content. Everyone says me, 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 me. So your presentation focus on who and a real needs, a real problem. That your presentation is already a big difference.